Suburban Sentinel here with a first range report on the Remington 870P Max 12 gauge police model shotgun. First, this gun has been safety checked. There's nothing in the chamber and I can see the follower here. To recap the first impressions video, this gun features a Davis feed speed stock with a shortened length of pull, a Remington recoil control butt pad, a Wilson Combat ghost ring rear sight, and an XS white big dot sight up front. The main feature of this shotgun is the Surefire brand 4-end weapons light with pressure pad activation. In addition, the P-Max features a +2 magazine extension, giving a 6+1 capacity with standard size shot shells. And Remington advertises that the police model guns have upgraded internal components for enhanced reliability and durability under severe use. I bought this shotgun new in box, even though it was a couple, maybe 3 years old, and I don't have enough information for a full-on review, but I can give a range report, or at least an initial range report. Out of the box, I just put a little bit of conventional lube on the gun and fired 1 magazine's worth, so 6+1 rounds through the gun just to make sure it was functioning properly, and there were no problems. The gun ran smoothly. Then, as I do with all the firearms I purchase, I broke the gun down to give it a thorough cleaning. I have to say that I had a terrible time getting this gun broken down to its major components, mostly because of the owner's manual. At least the manual that came with this gun was absolutely terrible. Remington advertises that the police models come with different internal components as compared with conventional 870 models, and at least this gun came with a generic Remington 870 shotgun manual. Not knowing which components were different and if the assembly-disassembly procedures were the same, I had to proceed with a high degree of caution in the takedown. It certainly would have been nice to either have a model-specific manual or at least something that said that the takedown is identical to a regular 870, or something that at least listed the differences. Be that as it may, when I finally got the gun parted into its major components and inspected them, I was fairly impressed with the quality of materials and the fit and finish on the gun. The only issue I found was a little bit of surface rust towards the back of the magazine tube where it meets the receiver. But I took care of that and it was not a big deal at all. The first thing I did after getting the gun disassembled was I gave it a thorough cleaning using Hoppy's No. 9 solvent. I recently started using frog lube on my guns, so after I was done cleaning this shotgun with Hoppy's, I went and cleaned it again with rubbing alcohol to get all of the petroleum products off the components. Then I went over the entire gun with the first application of frog lube, then reassembled the gun. The first thing I noticed is that the initial application of frog lube smoothed out the action considerably. Not that the action was bad, I had no complaints with it, but the frog lube did make quite a bit of difference in the smoothness in the operation of the gun, and I believe in the trigger as well. Last weekend I took this to the range and put about 100 rounds of a mixed bag of ammunition through it, from cheap discount store type 12 gauge to mil-spec 12 gauge to PDX self-defense ammunition. The gun ran flawlessly, and I would expect nothing less from a higher end pump action shotgun. I haven't done any accuracy testing yet because the function for this gun for me is inside the home defense. So I'm looking at a operating range of 15 to 25 feet or less. But I'll have an opportunity to do some accuracy testing later. After that first range session, I broke the gun down yet again and wiped down all the components and reapplied the frog lube in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions for use of the product. I can't say that I'm a true believer in frog lube as yet because this is the first gun I've really run with it, but all indications are positive, and I want to thank Crucible Arms for turning me on to frog lube, and he's got a great review of the product, and I'll put an annotation up here on the screen somewhere. Now that she passed her first range test, this gun is now in service as our short-range homestead defender for use inside the house. And I'm going to be taking some shotgun self-defense classes with her in the near future. Although I don't have enough experience and data with this gun for a full-up review, I can give a reasonably quick summary of my likes and dislikes thus far. And I'm going to move the camera in to get some detailed shots. First item, the Davis Speed Feed stock. I really like it. First, having the pistol grip gives you a very, very good purchase on the weapon. And as a side benefit to that, I can hold the shotgun up with one arm and use the other one to open a door or something like that if necessary. I really dig the pistol grip. In addition, the stock features a reduced length of pull. The stock is 1 inch shorter than normal, presumably because this is a law enforcement shotgun. The designers envisioned that the user would probably be wearing body armor. Even though I don't wear body armor, I still find the length of pull very nice. It keeps the shotgun relatively compact with an 18-inch barrel, and I don't feel cramped or uncomfortable at all firing the gun, and I'm about 6'3" tall. Next feature is Remington's recoil control butt pad here, and it's a very soft butt pad, and it works amazingly. To buy this gun, I sold a Remington 1187 12 gauge shotgun, and the recoil on this PMax is, at least in my book, lighter than the 1187. And the 1187, of course, is an auto loader. So I give Remington an A+ for this shotgun's recoil control. Next item, the Ghost Ring rear sight. I wasn't sure I was going to like that, but as it turns out, I'm so used to having ghost rings on other long guns, it's not a problem, and I really do like the Ghost Ring sight. The XS white big dot sight up front, I believe I'm going to replace. It works okay, but I have tired old eyes. I think I could get on target a little bit faster with a colored sight, whether a red or green, something to that effect. So I'm either going to try a high-vis green sight, or maybe even just high-vis paint, or possibly go with a tritium front night sight in green. But all in all, I think the front sight works fine. I believe that is my issue, not the guns. Of course, one of the main features of this gun is the Surefire weapons light forend. And I really like this feature. Here on the right side of the gun is a simple pressure pad that activates the light, so it gives you instant activation without having to have a third hand. On the left side of the gun is this switch, which allows for constant on of the weapons light. I believe that there's a second model of Surefire shotgun light that provides either another switch or a 3-position switch, which allows the operator to turn the light completely off. This model does not have that feature, but if I want the light off, I'll just unscrew the flashlight portion of it sufficiently to keep the contacts from engaging. This particular gun has an incandescent type forend light, and of course I knew that when I bought the gun. This is an older model, even though it was new in box. The new ones have LED lights. I do have to say that this light works fine. The amount of light output, at least for use inside the home, is more than sufficient, and it's been nothing but reliable, at least at this early stage of ownership. However, I am going to swap out this light for an LED model. Surefire gets, I believe, $165 for the LED light itself. I believe I'm going to go with a third-party light that's a level of quality at least as good, if not better, than Surefire. Again, this light works perfectly well, but as this is a Homestead Defender, I'm looking for the utmost in reliability. I purchased this gun as a leftover at a substantial discount. I believe it was about $200 to $225 less than the current street price. So even if I do an upgrade through Surefire, I'll still be ahead of the game. So all in all, with the purchase price and the modifications I'd like to make, I'll still be into the gun for a little less than $1,000. For what should be a lifetime high-performance gun with pump action reliability, I think that's a very good value. Now, I'm not OCD about my guns. To me, guns are tools, so if they get a scratch on it, it's not the end of the world. I do take good care of them. For me, the most important thing is that they run reliably. So I'm going to take some classes with this gun and probably run it pretty hard. And I have very high expectations for it. So that's my first range report on this Remington 870P Max model. Questions and enlightening comments are always welcome. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe. This is the Suburban Sentinel. Safe shooting, everybody.